All right, so as you can see, we got some fresh snow last night. We got about 4 inches. And this is probably one of the last dumps of snow we're going to get for the winter. Maybe we'll get one more. We usually get one big one, usually before spring like actually sets in. But I thought we would get out and walk around in my neighborhood here and just see what kind of tracks we can find and see if we can find anything interesting. All right, so right away, before I'm even out of the yard here, we got some rabbit tracks. You can see there. Looks like he came out of there and then went that way. This year has definitely been a very rabbit heavy year. Lots of rabbits this year. If you guys are watching my trail cam videos at all, you will see a ton of rabbits. And I guess it's just that time of year in the cycle for rabbits. You can see a lot of rabbit activity over there. They've been frolicking all back through here, all in this tree line. Some right here. So tons of rabbit tracks, tons of rabbit activity, tons of rabbits on the trail cam. And we'll see. I might walk over by the trail camera. You can see there's all kinds of tracks here where they're hopping around. You can see we've had some bad windstorms this year, and there's a lot of down trees, broken trees, snapped trees, treetops that have just got blown off. And probably later this spring, I'm gonna have to bust out the chainsaw and take care of a few that are pretty close to the house. But oh, I actually didn't know all this was down back here. Huh. Anyway, let's go look for some more tracks. So this is kind of cool. It's not very amazing, but it looks like maybe there were two rabbits here. Maybe one of them was chasing the other. They were kind of hopping around. And you can see where one of them jumped over that fallen tree right there. That's kind of neat. Those are my tracks back there. Not really sure if I'm going to find anything other than rabbit. There was a moose that was hanging around for a couple of days, but I haven't seen them in a while, so I don't know if they're still around or not. They may have moved on, but moose was kind of what I was hoping to find. There might be a small chance I could come across some bear tracks out here. I doubt it though, because it's a little bit too early for them here. You can see that tree's down. That one's broken. All kinds of damage from the storms we had this winter. A lot of windstorms. So, as you can see, this rabbit, he was moving pretty quick. He was leaping through this deeper snow. His tracks look a little different than the ones we were seeing back there. And something else I wanted to talk about, which I haven't found a good example of it just yet, but a lot of times you'll see people and they'll find like one track and they'll be like, oh, look at that, there's a Bigfoot track or whatever, and they'll just go on and on about it. And something that I think a lot of people don't take into consideration, especially when they find like one track, is what's above you. Like, look at all the snow. on that tree there. And all it would take is a good wind to knock some of that down and make some indents in the snow. And if you get a big clump of it, maybe like that one there, it might resemble like a footprint. So it's just something to keep in mind, like when you find something like that, and especially in the snow, is what is above it that could have fell. I mean, you can see those drops. That's where the snow was melting and leaving little drops in the snow. But if a big enough chunk of snow falls off the tree, it can be confused with a footprint or something sometimes. What is that? It's like a little piece of trash or something over there. Sometimes there's some houses back over there and people leave stuff out on their decks, and those winds will come along like I was talking about, like the storms, and blow trash back in here. Although I have found some trash bags that I think a bear brought out here and was eating on. Some more rabbit tracks. Tons of rabbits this year. Tons of them. I would say we had a plethora of rabbits. And these look like old rabbit tracks that have got some snow in them. Probably done while it was snowing last night. And you guys, I don't know if you can see this or well or not. See that? See how spiky that is? This Devil's Club. And it is a well-earned name. I wish I had $1 for every time I got snagged by that or accidentally grabbed one. Not a fun experience. In fact, I was thinking about getting out this year before summer and finding what I could of it on my property and just taking it out, cutting it down. Look at it, it's all over back in here. It's all over the place. It's almost creating like a wall. I think I can get out that way. I want to go back in there, but we'll see. Maybe I can get through without it getting to me. So we've got some different tracks here. That is a canine track. I'm not sure what kind. I mean, you can see the nails. You can see the toe beans. And they're kind of intercrossed back in here with some of these rabbit tracks. And I've seen an increase in coyote activity back here. See, they're coming through here. So, I mean, this could be somebody's domestic dog that got loose back here. But I think it's probably a coyote. It's going off that way. We'll head over that way here in a little bit. But I saw some predator scat on the road the other day. Ooh, I'm standing on ice. That is a sheet of ice. And it had some white, probably rabbit fur in it. And I would bet money that it was probably coyote scat. I'm gonna walk around back here a little bit more and I'll check in with you if I find anything. So here's something you can see. See, we're looking at our canine tracks again. This is over here. There's rabbit tracks and then the canine tracks. You see that line going through there? That's probably from back leg being drugged through there. It could be maybe the tail dragging the ground, maybe. But since I don't see it anywhere else, I'm guessing it's probably just a toe drag where the nail, one of the nails on the toe is dragging through there. And you see there's a double print right there. Whatever it was small enough to get under this little overhang here. And you can see over there, see there's some debris on the ground. That was probably knocked down when the canine went through there and went over there. And you can tell this is relatively fresh because that debris down there on the ground doesn't have any snow on it. These tracks aren't full of snow. They have got a good detail in them. You can see the toe beans. You can see the nail impressions. And like I said, there's no snow on that debris there. And you know, a lot of people say, well, duh. But believe it or not, when you're looking for evidence, like at a crime scene or something, that kind of stuff matters. Like if there's a piece of paper on the ground, there's a canine track there too. Look, right over that rabbit, right in that rabbit track. He's probably tracking this rabbit. But if there's a piece of paper or something on the ground at a crime scene, and then let's say there's like a pin or something on top of that piece of paper, that means that the piece of paper was there first, then the pin was either put or fell onto the piece of paper. And it sounds kind of, well, duh, it sounds pretty straightforward, pretty cut and dry, but stuff like that matters. During certain investigations, it needs to be noted and you need to pay attention to it. If it was the other way around, like the paper was on the ground on top of the pin, then you would say, well, the pin was on the ground first, and then the paper was either placed or fell on top of it. And there's actually a name for it. I can't remember what it is, but it's actually it's a named phenomenon where you're like, if this is on the ground and then something's on top of it, then according to so-and-so's law or theorem or whatever, then that's the order in which they were placed. See more canine tracks all going back in through here. Let's see. There's that. I bet that's the same individual. Look, there's that drag mark again. He's probably back here tracking these rabbits. See, you can really see the drag in the deeper snow. And again, canine tracks, rabbit tracks. We're kind of going backwards. I guess they came from this way and went up to where we were. We're like tracking them in reverse. So these are interesting. Little, maybe squirrel. I think they're squirrel tracks, maybe. You can see little toe beans in there. I mean, they're not big at all. They're very tiny. Probably squirrel. Which, here's our canine buddy again. Heading that way. Those little squirrel tracks, they kind of disappear right there. He probably jumped into one of these nearby trees. You can kind of see they're kind of deep. I bet that's what he did. He probably came down over there and then jumped over here and took off. That's interesting. I wonder if if that dog sat down or if he was scratching. Oh, there's some more squirrel tracks. He was maybe sniffing around where that squirrel had been. All right, so I'm over here on this side of this log. Actually, there's little prints on this thing too, probably squirrel. But I just wanted to show you guys how relatively pristine this is. And then there's something over there. Something's been over there. So I thought we'd walk up on it together here. Let's see what it is. Hopefully I'm not walking on, uh-oh. Look at that, guys. Oh. Something got. Look at that. Looks like we've got our canine tracks. And that's all I can see. Something. Probably a rabbit, maybe a squirrel. This is a kill site. Look how warm. Look how it looks almost like melted, how it's like ice, how it's warm it is. It got melted to snow while the body laid there. It was probably being eat on. Probably a rabbit. They don't leave much to waste. They consume just about everything. You can see canine. This looks like, it's probably the same one. It looks a little smaller. You can see, I saw from over there, I was standing over there, and I could see that something happened over here. I didn't see that blood until I got over the log, but it's pretty interesting. No hair, which I find interesting. No, maybe that's something right there. But I mean, it's possible we're out here in the open. It's possible that if there was anything left, ravens or eagles might have came and scavenged it. There's an eagle's nest somewhere back in there. I'm not sure exactly where, but we hear them out here all the time. Let's see. I believe that's rabbit. And that might be where he made his last hop over there. But yeah, that was kind of cool, huh? Let's take another look at it. Of course, I'll look at all my mess I've made here, but yeah. Interesting. Stumbled upon a kill site. Cool. Not cool for the rabbit, but cool for us. They came from that way. There's rabbit tracks over here. Wonder how long he stalked that rabbit for. You can see he jumped over here. And that canine came through all that. Well, I'm gonna check in with you guys. I'm gonna head out and see if I can get over to where my trail camera is from here and check in with you then. So here's something I wanted to point out to you guys. I'm over here and you can see right there where this rabbit came over that log, and he landed there, jumped there, came up here. But this is what I wanted to show you. Now this is obviously this is this rabbit, but just look how misshapen that is. Like if you didn't know, if you didn't have that, you'd wonder what the heck that was. But then, I mean, you can see the tracks leading away from it too. But, you know, it looks like maybe he sat there, maybe turned around a little bit. Maybe he was looking for that coyote that was stalking him, if it's the same rabbit. But it just goes to show you, like, how even known animals can confuse you and leave things that just don't look right or natural. I mean, if I just found this off by itself, I don't know what I would call it. I would probably say that it fell out of a tree. All right, so some of you guys might recognize this area. This is where my trail camera's set up. This might be a familiar view for some of you guys. There it is. It is recording. It's recording us. Recording it. Recording us. And you can see there's some squirrel tracks there. Squirrel tracks all in here. And this is what most of you see during the trail cam videos. And lots of rabbit tracks through here. No moose tracks. I'm surprised because we had that mother and I believe her calf hanging around for a long time, and haven't seen her in the last couple of days. I guess they've moved on. But we'll walk back here a little bit further, and I'm gonna head to the house. All right, guys, thanks for coming out and tracking in the snow with me. A little disappointed all we found was rabbit and coyote, but finding that predation site was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that, so that was kind of neat. Maybe next time we'll find some moose or bear, and we'll go for a little walk again sometime soon. But thanks for coming and hanging out with me. Appreciate you. Give me like, subscribe, and share if you really like this video. And my name is Beans, and until the next time, the Beans abides.